Skate 4, or Skate Period as it's been renamed, has been finally released in early access, and I got to play it for a good 4 or 5 hours this last weekend. Obviously, it's been quite some time since we saw a new skate game come out of Electronic Arts, and considering we already knew that it was going to be a live service, microtransaction-ridden multiplayer experience, I definitely had to hop in there myself and see what this was all about. If you like what I do, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll stop wasting your time. Like I said, I put in about 4 or 5 hours into Skate this last weekend, and overall, I'd say it's pretty good. I think everything that you'd like about a skate game is definitely there. The skateboarding is very crunchy and satisfying. They've also added a lot of sort of free running elements to the game. You can freely hop off of your board now, climb buildings, do front flips, all that jazz. They've really leaned into the kind of jackass stunt aspect of the whole game as well. You can just fly off buildings, kind of spread eagle and, shoot yourself into trash cans, stuff like that. If you remember in some of the older skate games, they had that Hall of Meat mode or whatever, where they'd even do like a Mortal Kombat-esque, seeing your bones snap and stuff as you, ragdoll around the world. Definitely a little bit more E for everyone now, no bones cracking or anything like that, but the ragdoll physics are genuinely top-notch. You can really get yourself in some weird, silly, precarious situations while skating around San Vansterdam. Also, god-awful name for a city. Just genuinely terrible. Another kind of neat aspect is you can just lay down objects in the world. So for instance, if you and your friends find this really cool line, but you kind of need a ramp to launch yourself up onto something, you can freely place that in the world and then anybody can use it. And even though this game is a live service game, there are plenty of like single player challenges or objectives that you can do around the map. And for completing them, you do get these like coupons you can use on loot boxes to get various new costumes, clothing, gear, etc. None of it actually affects your player in any way. It's all just aesthetic. But it's nice that they at least give people who aren't looking to drop money on this game a way to, unlock new content. And ultimately, I think that's what we're going to kind of have to see this game do if it really wants to get that longevity out of it. I obviously have only unlocked one section of the map, so I imagine there's more objectives and quests you can do around other parts of the map, but they do get pretty stale after playing them for a few hours. Also, the clothing and gear you unlock is sort of lackluster at best. You definitely need to spend the money if you want to get like a Grim Reaper costume or something like that. And on that side of things, the microtransactions are pretty egregious as you'd expect. It's definitely not cheap to play this game, but it's not like you have to buy that stuff to play. You can easily log in and roam around the map with your friends without spending a dime. We do need to remember that this game is in early access as well, so obviously I imagine a lot of things are going to change by the time they actually release the game. Not that I think it's going to get cheaper or anything like that, but at least if there's more stuff to do for people who genuinely either don't have the money or don't want to spend the money, I think that would look good on EA in the long run. This game definitely gives me big like streamer slop vibes. It's very reminiscent of recent games like Peak, for instance, where you kind of get in a group with your friends and, have fun messing around. The game isn't really about completing the game as much as it is just enjoying yourself. That being said, they gotta add proximity chat in this game. I think that's a total missed opportunity on their ends, especially considering the hangout vibes type of game they're going for. And I can only imagine we're going to see that come in an update down the line, probably sooner rather than later. The aesthetic of this game is definitely another kind of big gripe I have with it. It feels very sanitized, it feels very corporate skateboarding. It doesn't have that like mid-2000s edge that you'd kind of come to expect from a extreme sports video game. Once again, it is in early access, so I'm hoping that that might change down the line, but considering they seem to be going for like a more broad Fortnite-esque experience, I can't imagine we're going to see a lot of that change, but it does feel good to play, I guess. On top of that, this little AI bot that follows you around and kind of tells you what you're doing or what you need to do is extremely annoying. It's definitely a very like Navi type of situation where it just won't shut up and is constantly talking to you in the background. I do have to give them some kudos as far as the music goes though. I think it's got some pretty good tracks in there. Shout out to Magdalena Bay. Another thing I kind of liked is that you find new music tracks to add to your overall playlist by just roaming around the world and kind of snagging the music out of radios and buses and places that you're hearing it kind of just play out in the open world. Definitely a nice little touch, and I ended up finding just tons of new music by just wandering around and, skating with my buds. If they do still intend on moving into this sort of slop tuber era of skate, I definitely think they're going to need to add some sort of streamer mode that allows you to kind of turn off the music tracks. In fact, there might already be one in there and I just just didn't notice it. But obviously I can't really play any of the gameplay for you guys with the sound on, or else I'll get copyright strikes all over this video. But yeah, overall, I think it's pretty good. I don't know if I see myself playing it in the long term, and there's definitely a lot of things they're gonna have to change before taking it out of early access to end up getting that kind of longevity with this game I think they're looking for. But you can really tell that the developers put a lot of love and care into making the game feel good. It is almost even more fun to just not even be on your skateboard, kind of just climbing around, or even, I'm sure you've seen people online rolling across the map. I'm not entirely sure if you being able to roll continuously like that was an added game mechanic, or if it was just a happy accident, but overall it makes for some really entertaining, funny moments. Anyway, that's about all I have to say about Skate's early access. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm Brandon. Thanks for watching, and have a kick-ass week.